Hi, I'm Chef Lance, and welcome to my kitchen. I'm joined here with my lovely bride, Dawn, and she made her signature Christmas dessert, a delicious pumpkin roll. Let's cook this thing. My kitchen, and today I have a guest in here cooking with me, my muy bonita esposa, Dawn.
Hello.
And today we're cooking her favorite Christmas dessert. I've known Dawn for, what, 17 years now?
Something like that, yeah.
Hard to believe. But she's been making this thing every year that I've known her, and it's every time it's absolutely delicious. So I just asked her to come on and teach me how to make it and help you guys make it too. You might want this for your Christmas dessert out there. So tell me, how'd you get the recipe, and what are we doing first, and then we'll get started and we can talk as we go.
Okay. Well, this is a pumpkin roll that all my family loves, and there might have been a couple years I didn't actually have it and bring, and I sure in the heck got chastised for it. So I found it in a recipe card box that I signed up for ages ago when my oldest was way young as a baby, and it's adapted, changed, gotten shorter, quicker along the years, and this is a revised fastest way to pull it together.
There we go. So what's the part we do first?
We mix our dry ingredients first.
So we're making the cake first.
Yes, the cake part.
So
the cake
essentially,
batter goes first.
Listen, my understanding of this pumpkin roll is that it's a cake done in a sheet pan. It's very thin, and then we make a filling for it, spread the filling all over it, and then we roll it up. So we're going to do the cake first because it has to bake and then cool, right?
Yes.
All right, so you get started. I think we need this grease. We're going to use a spray. Go ahead and keep talking.
Okay, so we got some flour. We got some baking soda. That one's the cinnamon. And this one's the pumpkin pie spice. And just a splash
By the way,
of salt.
we're gonna put her recipe up on my website. Because that means I'm stealing it from her. By the way, what I'm doing
when it's in the family.
Gosh, that spray got to me. What I did is I sprayed this with a cooking spray. I'm going to lay down a piece of parchment paper on it. Of course, that'll help this parchment paper stick. But this will help it release when we get ready to, so we can roll it. I'm going to smooth that out, and then I'm actually going to spray the parchment paper with another coating.
Mm-hmm.
So what's next?
I'm going to break up my eggs, whisk up my wet ingredients. I like to do the pumpkin and eggs so it blends better.
Yes. That might help you get some. By the way, she's using fresh pumpkin puree. I'll put a link to the pumpkin pie that's so easy for you to say. The pumpkin pie video that I did for Thanksgiving, I had some leftover puree. She's using that. If you don't have fresh puree, and why not? By the way, you can go and at your favorite retail grocer and just get you a can of canned pumpkin. By the way, this brand says 100% pure pumpkin. So I looked at the ingredients and it had one ingredient, pumpkin. So this will work for you, so don't fret if you don't have fresh. We had some on hand, and so therefore we're going to use that because I don't want that to go to waste. So you're mixing all the wet ingredients now.
Yes, and now I'm adding the sugar. The one dry ingredient that doesn't go in there, it goes in here is the sugar.
Oh, so you don't add it to that dry.
No.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
That's why
I
split it.
Very interesting. So basically now she has her dry ingredients together, the spices and what is this?
That's the vanilla.
Ooh, vanilla. By the way, where is that jar of vanilla?
Over there behind the powdered sugar.
So let me just show you this, guys. This is my own secret stash. I make this. It's a fun little project I like doing. This jar right here, this quart jar, is a quadruple fold. That means it's 4 times the normal strength of what you might find in the grocery store. 100% pure. While she's mixing, let me just tell you quickly about this. I bought some vanilla beans. There's several places online to get those. Got them in. I split them. You don't have to, but you can scrape out the seeds, and all of those go into a jar that you're going to use for storage. I just like using this quart jar. And then I poured 100 proof vodka on there. Don't get the expensive stuff. It's not necessary. You're using this by half and teaspoons at a time. So you're not going to need the high quality stuff unless you're going to drink what's left over. That's up to you.
Okay. I'm going to pass this to you because he's a big one.
Oh, okay. So what am I doing? I'm going to stir this together?
Add the wet to the dry.
Oh, she's putting me to work. So, wow, this looks like a very, very wet batter. Would you hand me that spatula, please?
Okay.
Make sure we get all this good, and we don't want to miss a single drop. You go to all this trouble to buy the stuff and put it together. You know, use most of it. You don't have to be religious about it, but certainly we don't want to let things go away. So what I did is I made a little well in the dry mix and then poured the wet ingredients in the center, and I'm going around the outside pulling the flour and the dry mixture into it until we get a homogeneous, smooth batter. By the way, the oven has been preheated to, what is that?
350.
350. So we preheated the oven to 350. It's good to go. And this will bake for approximately how long? So now
10 to 15 minutes.
How many?
10 to 15
10
minutes.
to 15 minutes. Okay, so what we got going on here is I've got it incorporated, but I've still got some lumps and things. And if I have a few lumps, I'm not going to be too worried about it, because it looks kind of like, to me, pancake batter. You don't want all the lumps out. I don't know if that's true for this. I'm just kind of winging it, but I want it kind of smooth. So there, I've got it smooth. Did I do
ready
okay?
To pour. Yes.
I did okay.
See, not as wet.
There we go. So now we're going to go straight into here.
Yep.
So let me push down these little bumps I have. All right, I'll hold. You get on the other side and I'll hold over here. You pour that in there. It's, man, if you had smell-o-vision, I'm telling you, this smells delicious. All right, let me finish it up.
Okay.
Okay, so now we're just going to get every little drop in, and then we're going to smooth this out.
Got a bigger one if you need to.
Well, we'll see how this goes. It's already dirty. All right.
And I usually just shimmy, shimmy.
So now you do your little jiggle thing you do.
Just gotta kind of.
She's jiggling and evening it out. Now it does have a leavener in there. She added baking powder, as she mentioned.
Baking soda.
Oh, I'm sorry, baking soda, my fault. So this will rise a little bit and be a little bit, but it's a little bit spongy, but it is not going to be a thick cake, obviously. It's going to be very thin.
So you can roll it, and hopefully it doesn't break when the rolled.
Hopefully it doesn't break when it rolls. I didn't know there was a danger here. So.
Oh my goodness, so many years in the beginning. The cracks.
The cracks. Oh, the cracks.
You get better as the years go on, each roll. They do freeze and save for a good 3 months.
Oh, so you could bake this in advance and freeze it?
Oh, yes. That's the best thing to do.
Ooh.
Pull several of them together and freeze them.
Then you're good to go. So you do this in July, Christmas in July, to pull it out after Thanksgiving. I'm kidding about that.
Yeah, you might
Who
be
has
stretching
the
it.
room in their freezer for all that?
Okay, I think I got.
Let me see
You
if I
can
can.
shimmy that corner.
So I'm just going to tilt it down. Whoops, then I'm going to tilt it down this way. Now I've got batter in almost all four corners. I'm now tilting it down this way. Then I'm going to shift over here. And then I'm going to even it out. So by doing that, I'm going to first tap it down. You know, it doesn't hurt to have a baking minor in my past, does it? All right, so
12 to 15.
So 12 to 15 minutes, we're going to pop this in the oven. Then we're going to bring it back and it will cool. And when it's cooling, we're going to make the cream cheese filling. So I'll see you around the corner.
Okay.
All right, now the cake is cooling. And so we are actually going to mix up our filling, right? Mm-hmm. So what's first?
Cream cheese.
The cream cheese. So we have an
butter.
8-ounce block, just like you buy at the store, of cream cheese that has been softened. I've had it sitting out for, I don't know, a long time. I don't remember now how long it is. So there's the cream cheese. And we've got, what is this, a couple tablespoons?
2 tablespoons of butter.
2 tablespoons of butter, also softened.
And I like to add the vanilla into that to help it.
So we add, she wants to add the vanilla into that. I'll let you do the arm work, or you want me to.
But depending on how soft it is.
Oh, that's we got it very soft. So she's just working this in. You know, if we were expensive setup, I'd have an overhead camera for you to shoot down on. But we're one camera operation. So essentially all she's doing here is mashing these softened fats together, the cream cheese and the butter. By the way, I'm going to make a video soon on how to make your own cream cheese. I've got one from way back on how to make ricotta from your own milk. And I'll do one on how to make your own cream cheese from your own milk. Very similar process. Let me put that down to help it hold. Very similar process, but you know, just a couple of additional steps for the cream cheese. Never think you have to go to the store to buy something when you have fresh milk on hand. I recently did a video on how to make your own buttermilk. Or it's not really buttermilk, okay? It's a substitute, but it gets the job done in a pinch. So she's going to continue to smooth that out, and then when we come back, we're going to add the dry ingredients and work those in. See you around the corner. Okay, so we've incorporated. I finished up for it at the very end, and now she wants me to do the dry because it stiffens up and it's hard to mix. So I'm going to do that. So what all we have here is
1 cup of
one total cup of powdered sugar. I mean, this is a nice little container.
Yes, they are.
Wonder how much this holds.
I think it's at 3/4.
Oh, okay. All right, so we'll put a link where we got these. These are really nice to have. So I've got the powdered sugar in there. And if I'd been thinking before I got all excited with that, I would have probably have done 1 little cup at a time. But all I'm doing, guys, is I'm just pressing. This is so good, I decided to wear it home. All right. So let me quit getting all excited here. All I'm doing is I'm taking it and pressing the sugar into it. And there's going to be times when it just doesn't think it, you're not thinking it's coming together. But truly it is. So this will take several minutes. Be patient with it. I'm going to tell you what's even better, and we know where it is, we just don't have it with us, is a little hand mixer. That works really great for this. I inherited the one that my mother used for years and years and years. Not the original one. I wish I knew where that was, probably in a trash can. But this one's the replacement she got for the original. And mixed a lot of cookies with my mother with that thing. But a hand mixer would certainly do a much faster job of this. So, all right, I'm going to finish this up. You can see it's already really coming together from just a second ago. I'm going to finish it up. I'm going to bring you back when we're done. We'll see you then. All right, I'm pretty much finished here. It's all incorporated now. There's a little bit left on the sides that are kind of stuck there. I'm going to try to scrape as much as I can, but I'm pretty happy with what we have. So what do we need to do with this?
It just, well, it goes when we unroll the cake. Then we spread it on the inside, and then we carefully roll it back up, and it chills for an hour before you can serve it or pop it in the freezer.
Do we need to refrigerate it at all?
No,
Yeah.
not this, because it goes.
Oh, we refrigerate it after we roll it? Okay.
Yes.
All right. All right.
Because
I'm going to set this aside so it doesn't get in our way. And in just a minute, when the cake has finished cooling, we're going to bring you back and try to fill this thing very nicely. All right. See you around the corner. All right, guys. We've been lying to you this whole time. So she's tweaked this thing a couple of times, and we both forgot. Actually, I didn't know. She forgot a little bit that we don't need to let the cake cool. So it's still warm, very warm, and we had to grab it. So the new version she's tried that works really well. She's so used to cooling it first, but this is supposed to be while it came out of the oven. So it's been cooling, but it is still very, very warm. Okay. In fact, the pan is still hot to the touch. So we mixed all the filling while that was going on. And now what we're going to do is I'm going to take it out by the parchment paper, and I'm going to move it to this cutting board. And then when I do, Miss Dawn here is going to, now see how nicely that comes up with just the cooking spray on there. And don't be a bull in the china closet.
do you want me to tilt it so it slides?
Nope, I got it. Oh, well, I think I do. So, tell you what, why don't I tilt it, and you slide it.
Turn them.
There we go. All right, now get this out of the way.
Now, this particular recipe says to roll it up very carefully warm. Woo woo. That'd be warm. And then cool them on the rack.
So we are cooling them. I misunderstood that part.
Yeah, we do cool it. Just
so why are we rolling it without the filling?
it's got to cool this way so it'll get some cooling in the shape. So when you unroll it, you can fill it and roll them back up.
It has less of a chance of breaking when you roll it. So,
yeah.
All right. So
the old ways they had you cool it flat, then roll it, then cool it, roll, then unroll it, then there's so many rolling unrollings. It had more of a chance of cracking as in one of the rolls.
So we're gonna let that cool for a few minutes, and then we're gonna. I guess the next step is unroll it, fill it, and roll it again.
When he's cool enough, and then it chiff.
So we'll bring you back around the corner. All right, guys, we're ready to go on the next step. Honey, I think this is cooled. Is that right? It's still warm, but it's cooled. So let me move that out of the way so you can see what she's doing here. She's going to roll it back out.
Very carefully.
Look, this is live, people. You never know what's going to happen. So very carefully, and I've got, if you want to use this, no, it looks like we're going to make it.
Let me tell you, there has been a couple years where I've cried because it's cracked.
Listen, that's dedication right there. All right, so that rolled pretty well.
Very nicely.
Okay, so this is the short end.
Yes.
So we're going to flip this around, right?
Yes.
Now it's filling. We put the filling in time, right? All right. So this is pretty soft. So what I'm looking for an even layer, edge to edge. Is that what the
yes.
am I?
Yes.
Okay.
And just enough so we won't break.
Okay. So I'm going to leave a little bit of a gap there.
Just a little bit, kind of fill in that crease, and that'll help. I normally do 1.5.
Ah.
But that's just because I want to make sure I got enough filling, and it's better to have more filling than not enough.
That's what my mother used to say. Better to have it, not need it, and need it, not have it.
Exactly.
All right. So I'm just going to work on spreading this out. This is going to take a few minutes. So if you're doing this at home, just take your time in doing this. There is absolutely no rush. And when I finish this, I'll bring you back. So see you around the corner. All right, guys, welcome back. I have now spread this. Let me just tell you, in hindsight, we're going to make a game day decision here. Uh, when you go look at the recipe, we're going to adjust the filling amount to 1.5, what we did here. While it's going to be fine, it's going to be delicious, a little bit more would make
Can't
it
go wrong.
so delicious. So, are you rolling or do you
Nope,
want?
I'll let you do it.
Ooh.
So if it cracks, just
Oh my goodness.
there you
Always
go.
in the danger zone.
So what
Yeah,
I've
you
done
know,
is you
this is how
slowly,
wives trick you guys. This is how they do it. All right.
so if you slowly take that, there you go, so you can kind of,
Using the parchment as a guide or as a way to lift, I can.
there you go. Once you get it rolling, it should. I will say this spraying and roll, this has been the easiest transition I have ever had.
All right, so we actually need that. Now you see we got a little crack here. I don't know what
Plastic
we're going
wrap.
to do about it, but we got to have plastic wrap.
Woohoo. Was not prepped
So
for
much
that.
so much for being prepared. Where's our mise en place today? All right, so we got that bad boy rolled. I'm not going to move it until we actually. I may have to move it though.
I'm coming.
Okay.
There we go. Let me get right under you.
I am going to have to move it. Hey, lay that right there.
That's what I was going to do. I have had wax paper fiascos. I have, oh yeah.
All right, so you can see we have a crack here. So as I roll this in the plastic wrap, I'm going to squeeze that to try to come together.
And when it freezes and chills, it does gel nicely together.
So, guys, and I'm going to pull that even tighter. What we didn't do, obviously, because we weren't prepared, but we should have sprayed this, misted this cutting board with water. It would have helped the parchment paper to adhere. But I'm going to try to get this as tight as possible so that crack will be as small as possible as it cools. But you know what? Does this have an icing that goes on the top or not?
No, they powdered sugar usually dusted.
All right, so guess what? Guess what side we're going to powder sugar? Although at the end of the day, this thing is going to be absolutely crazy delicious. I've had them before, been down that road. So how long we leave it like this?
You can, if you're going to have it for the day, it just only needs to refrigerate for 1 hour. Or like I do, is I make them a week or so ahead and I stuff them in the freezer.
All right, so now I've got this roll pretty darn tight. And are we refrigerating or?
Yes, we're going to refrigerate it.
We're going to refrigerate. So I'm going to pop this in the fridge, and when it's time to cut this bad boy and put it, serve it up, I'll bring you back.
Here, this wrap.
All right, guys, the exciting time is here. We're ready to cut and plate this thing. So what happened was Dawn wrapped this with a little piece of foil to help. It actually helps it cool down faster. We stuck this in the freezer for, I don't know, 15 or 20 minutes. It's not frozen. It's firm, but it's not yet frozen. So we're going to get to cycling this. I was thinking of recycling. We're going to unwrap this and cut it. So easy for you to say. So I'm over here, so I'm just going to do it. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to find my seam, and it's down here. We'll kind of center up. Now, you can see these butt ends are, technically in the business, these are known as chef's privilege. But we're actually going to plate them. Let me turn it this way. So I'm going to sprinkle it with some powdered sugar. All right. Quit playing around and get cut. So I'm going to just slice off a little bit of the butt end. I'm using a slicer. You can use any sharp knife you have. So that's what it looks like on that end. You know, the filling's a little less. And so that's chef's privilege. So how big do you normally slice it? Like half an inch?
Maybe about like
Your
that.
thumb?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we'll do this. I'll try to get a more straight cut this time.
Mm-hmm. Want to taste?
Mm-mm, not yet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saving my girlish figure for Christmas. She knows I'm eating pretty strict right now and trying to tip me like that.
Holidays.
Happy holidays.
Mm-hmm.
Happy holidays. All right, so I'm going to continue slicing, and then I'm going to plate this, and then I'll come back and show you what happens. So, see you around the corner. All right, guys, we've now plated this thing, and this is Dawn's pumpkin roll, favorite Christmas dessert.